Alright, it's time for me to do your mum. Hey everyone, it's Nam Rider, Mt Narra, Yam Mum, double black. Ooh, scary. It actually got me thinking, what makes a double black versus just a regular black? And I actually was nerdy enough to look it up. So this is from like a WA Parks website, and what it says here is for a black diamond, it's likely to be challenging single trail with steep gradients, variable surface, and many narrow obstacles. And for a double black, it's extremely difficult trails, which incorporate very steep gradients, highly variable surface, and unavoidable severe obstacles. So Yam Mum is the only top to bottom double black trail out of Mt Narra. And does it really deserve it, double black status? I don't really know. Like when I think about what are the most challenging features out here, what comes to mind is like the roll in on Rampage, the drop on Rampage. Then there are a few features on Yam Mum, which I'll go through as we go down the trail. And then you've got all the jumps at the bottom of Loamsville, which are kind of in a category of their own. They're jumps, they're not tech, which is a little bit different, right? So I'm gonna go down Yam Mum and point out the most technical features. And I guess these are locations where if you're gonna go tits up, this is where it's gonna be. Okay, so when you're doing this trail, and particularly for the first time, this is where it starts. It starts up on the top of those rocks. So what I normally do is come around and just have an inspection of what's going on here, because sometimes this can be in all sorts. Like as you can see, the rocks all kind of fall away, and sometimes rocks just tend to get moved for whatever reason. So it's actually not looking all that great, but I can still see a line that I'm going to take straight down the center. All right, so this is definitely one of the first ones. It's pretty steep. Bit of a pinchy climb there. This is a little bit of an uncomfortable right-hand turn, but if you just lean your shoulder and go, it's okay. And so with that first roll in, yeah, it's kind of steep, but I don't think it's any harder than the roll in on Rampage. I think if you get Rampage wrong, it's a lot further down. And I think it's a lot easier to get wrong too. There are quite a few pedally sections on Yam Mum, which kind of leads me to believe that it's probably not as steep as the other black trails around here, because you do quite a lot of pedaling, and I feel like it takes longer as well. Okay, I'd say this is one of the more technical sections. I'm looking back up the trail. It starts here where you have to keep your speed, jump through these rocks, come around the corner, and you really just have to keep your speed up. There's this narrow bridge here, which is the first challenging spot to get over, particularly if you're going fast. And you want to be going fast because there's this real pinch climb coming up here. So if you're not going quick enough, you're just not going to have the speed to get up. So it's really something you have to absolutely commit to. But I think if you don't get this right, you can always just jump off the back of your bike and you're probably not going to hurt yourself too much. So let's give it a go. So there you go, double black. Is that really double black? I don't think so. Like when I think of double black, I think of really steep sections and things that aren't necessarily rollable or that are blind. That's what I really think defining features of double black are. Oh shit. Okay, so that's new. So just as I say, blind features that aren't rollable. There we go. I think that was rollable. Definitely rollable. More pedally sections through here. There is a pretty steep roll coming up, but it's actually not that bad. It does require complete commitment and sticking your ass back onto your tire. And here it is. This next feature I think you can roll, but I huck it. A little too much juice going into that. Okay, so this section here is totally rollable, but if you're going to go into it, it's like 100% commitment and just taking it out till the very end. My bike's pretty slack, so it makes these rollable features a little bit easier, but I was still crapping myself the first time I went down here. Got a nice section of huck coming up here, not this one, but the next one. This one here. It's a little bit blind, but it's okay. Oh, that was crap. A little bit of huck. Keep your speed coming through here to get to clear the jumps. Oh, and another one around the corner. I think it's one more around this corner too. All right, getting pretty close to the end now, and there's one final feature, which yeah, I'd say is the scariest and the most technical. And so it's just around this corner. I like to take the high line around this top rock here. Gives me just a little bit more time for the setup, which you have bugger all time to do this. It's pretty steep. So there it is. I don't know what the GoPro's making it look like, but it's pretty damn steep. I think your front wheel probably lands somewhere about sort of here, I'd say, or maybe that point there. So it looks like about 8 foot from the top of the rock to where your front wheel lands, I'd say. So I'd say, given that this trail is classified as a double black, the most intense features that I consider would be this one right here. It's steep, it's pretty blind, and it could go horribly wrong if you had no idea that drop was coming up. Again, my bike is pretty slack, and I still feel like I'm going to go over the bars every single time I do this, but somehow the bike just does its thing and I make it out alive. I guess then number 2 would just be that first roll in. So if you're comfortable with rolls, like if you can do the Rampage roll in, that one's no problem, so don't worry about that. Then I'd say the third thing is that middle section where it's pretty steep and rolling like kind of snakes around. If something goes wrong there, I guess you could kind of fall a fair way, potentially. And obviously it's all rock, so if you do fall, you could hurt yourself. Then finally, I'd just say that pinch climb, because if you're trying to keep your speed up, it's a pretty narrow bridge and it can go wrong with the bridge, and then if you don't have enough speed, you can kind of fall off the back of your bike. And whilst it's not a very far way down, I guess you kind of could get tangled up and hurt yourself that way. So yeah, that's the 4 features that I would say would define this as a double black versus a regular black. However, I don't think there's miles difference between kind of any of the black trails out here and the double black trail here. They all have their own techie features, which can catch, I'd say, most riders out if they weren't really on their game. All right, enough talking, let's just do it. So it's round to the left, staying high, on the brakes, straighten up, off the brakes. Easy. It's pretty violent, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty violent, but it's over quickly. Alright, so that's it. Your mum, top to bottom, double black. What do you think? Double black? Is it really? I don't know. Drop a comment if you've ridden this and it scared you and yeah, you think, yep, definitely double black, or you rode it and you're like, yeah, I don't know, like not too much more difficult than a black. Or if you do a lot of double black tech trails, how do you think this one ranks to the stuff that you do? This is the only one I've ever done, so I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. Anyway, that's it. Please subscribe if you found it interesting. I'm going to try and do a video every week or so. So that's the goal anyway. We'll see how we go with that. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.